There's a strange pattern that shows up every time researchers study actual millionaires instead of the ones you see online. The real ones drive older cars. They live in the same house for decades. And more than that, a lot of them keep almost nothing in their visible bank balance, even though they're worth millions. Not because they're broke, because being seen is expensive. Today I'm showing you the invisible wealth rule. Why the richest people you'll never hear about deliberately look poorer than they are, in public and even in their own bank app. And the 3-layer version of this you can start using at any income level. Quick note, this is education, not financial or legal advice. Every situation is different. Talk to a professional before restructuring anything. Start with the smallest, weirdest layer, because it happens inside your own head. Financial planners who work with high net worth clients say the same thing over and over. A lot of their millionaire clients keep surprisingly little cash sitting in checking, sometimes under $10,000, even when they're worth 8 figures. And some of them will straight up joke about being broke the moment that number dips, while millions sit one transfer away. That sounds insane until you understand why. Behavioral economists have a name for it: mental accounting. Your brain treats money differently depending on which bucket it's sitting in. Money in a brokerage account, locked behind a few clicks and a "are you sure?" feels untouchable. Money sitting in checking feels like it's already halfway spent. It's not rational. It's just how the brain works. So the wealthy exploit their own psychology on purpose. They keep checking lean, so the easy-to-spend bucket never has enough in it to do real damage. Here's the part that should hit different. This costs you nothing to copy. You don't need a lawyer or a net worth requirement. You need one automatic transfer that moves anything above your buffer out of checking every single week into an account that's slightly annoying to touch, out of sight, out of spend. Now the layer everyone can see, or rather, can't. Ask people to picture a millionaire and you get a watch, a car lease, a rented mansion for the Instagram post. Actual research on this keeps finding the opposite. The wealthiest people, statistically, drive used cars and live in normal houses in normal zip codes. The lifestyle you associate with rich is disproportionately financed by debt, not by net worth. The flashiest person in the room is often the least wealthy one in it. Picture 2 people who earn the exact same salary. Call them Derek and Priya. Derek leases the newer car, upgrades his apartment every time his pay bumps up, and always looks like he's doing great, because on his income, he could be. Priya drives the same reliable car for 9 years and lives 1 bedroom smaller than she could afford. If you had to guess who's wealthier from the outside, you'd guess Derek every time. You'd be wrong. Derek's raise gets spent before it lands. Priya's raise goes straight into the account nobody sees. 10 years later, Derek is still 1 bad month from a problem. Priya could quit tomorrow. Same income, same decade. Completely different outcome, and it never once showed up in either of their driveways. This isn't an accident, and it isn't just modesty. Visible spending invites 2 expensive things: comparison, which drags your own spending up to match the loudest person nearby, and attention, which we're about to get to in the next layer. Quiet wealth compounds. Loud wealth gets spent proving it exists. Here's a number that shows exactly how much this adds up across an entire country. Vanguard tracks the retirement accounts of nearly 5 million workers. The average 401k balance sitting in those accounts is about $168,000. But the median, the person standing at the exact middle, not the number a few huge balances drag upward, is only $44,000. That gap is almost 4 times over. It isn't a rounding error. It's a small group of quiet, boring, Priya-style savers pulling the whole average up while most people sit far below it, never visible, never posting about it. Here's the layer most people never think about, because it only shows up if something goes wrong. Every lawsuit, every predatory contractor, every opportunist looking for a payday starts the exact same way. They look for someone worth suing. Attorneys who work this side of the table are candid about it. Before they take a case, they check what the other person actually owns. Rental property under your own name. Your home address listed as the manager on a public business filing. A name that's easy to search and comes back with real estate LLCs and a paper trail. Owning things isn't the problem. Being an obvious, easy-to-find target is the problem. There's an old asset protection saying that captures it in one line. You can't sue what you can't see. Structures like a properly formed holding entity exist for exactly this. Not to hide income from the IRS, not to dodge a debt you legitimately owe, but to keep your name off the public records that a stranger searching for a payday would even bother looking at. The IRS still knows who you are. Your bank still knows who you are. The person scrolling public filings at midnight looking for an easy target does not. Think about it like two houses on the same street. One has the porch light on, the curtains open, and something valuable sitting in plain view of the sidewalk. The other has the lights off and nothing visible from the road. Both houses might hold the exact same amount inside. Only one of them gets tried. This isn't a rich person problem anymore. The average American now has more of their information searchable in 5 minutes than a millionaire did 20 years ago. Data broker sites scrape your address, your relatives, sometimes your estimated net worth, and sell it to anyone with a credit card. You don't need 8 figures to be an easy target. You need a Googleable name and something worth taking. And the wild part is most people build their exposure by accident. They list themselves as the registered agent on a small side business LLC using their home address because the state charged extra for a real one. They put a rental property directly in their own name because nobody told them there was another way. Every one of those is a porch light left on. You don't need 8 figures for any of this. 3 moves, in order of how easy they are. Move 1. Go do the search yourself, right now, after this video. Type your name into a search engine. Check your county's public property records. See what comes up next to your name, your address, what you own, whether you're listed as an owner or manager on anything public. You cannot fix exposure you don't know you have. Move 2. Separate what you own from your everyday identity where you reasonably can. That might mean using a registered agent service instead of your home address for a small business filing. It might mean not listing yourself personally as the point of contact on public paperwork when a formal structure could stand in front of you instead. This is a conversation for an actual attorney once you have anything worth protecting, not a DIY move for anyone watching this video for the first time. Move 3. Keep your visible life boring. Lean checking balance, modest daily footprint, quiet accumulation everywhere else. This one costs nothing and works at every income level starting today. The invisible wealth rule isn't about being secretive for its own sake, and it's definitely not about hiding money from taxes or debts you actually owe. It's about understanding that every dollar of visibility is a small, free invitation to anyone looking for a target. A comparison you didn't ask for, a lawsuit fishing expedition, or just your own brain talking you into spending money that was supposed to compound. The wealthiest people you've never heard of aren't invisible by accident. They built it that way, on purpose, one boring decision at a time. If this connected some dots, the rest of this series builds the same idea from different angles. How the rich use debt as a tool instead of a trap, and the buy, borrow, die playbook that keeps billionaires' wealth almost untaxed. Subscribe so you catch the next one. The money traps that quietly wreck people right when they hit their 50s, with no time left to recover. See you there.